systems. In reality, the biggest roadblocks that we have seen affecting AI implementation is not the technical side of change, it is rather the human side of change. You can implement the most powerful AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, or even M365 Copilot. But if your people don't understand these AI tools, if they don't trust the AI tool, or if they don't feel involved, it doesn't matter how powerful that AI tool is, people will just not use the AI tool. Or you might actually be faced with active resistance. That is why AI adoption must be treated as an organizational change. Let me repeat what I just said because it is very important that this is one of the key takeaways you take from this video. You want to treat AI adoption as an organizational change. And we will discuss a little bit more what I mean by this during this video. And this is where change management comes in. Think of organizational change management, OCM, as the bridge between launching the technology and actually seeing the technology make a difference. Emphasis on the bridge between launching the technology and seeing the technology make a difference. Through organizational change management, you can engage impacted users early, communicate the benefits clearly, communicate the WIFM, WIIFM, which stands for what's in it for me. When you are able to communicate the WIFM to people, it really makes a big difference. You also want to address concerns about job loss from AI or AI issues or AI errors. You also want to build trust by showing how AI is there to enhance, not replace their job. Emphasis. You want to show how AI is being implemented to enhance, not replace their job. So as we go through this session, keep this core idea in mind. AI success begins and ends with your people. The technology is powerful, but only if your organization, impacted users are prepared, empowered, and supported through the change. Now, at the bottom of this video, I have included a link that takes you to the detailed guide that explains everything step by step that we are going over during this video. Now, we are going to discuss the actionable activities that are recommended for you to complete in order to increase AI adoption within your organization. I am going to go over 6 steps, starting with step 1. The first step to successful AI adoption is vision. Clear, compelling, and people-focused. Too often, leaders talk about AI as if it is basically a way to save money or to stay competitive. But really, here's the truth. That kind of message doesn't inspire trust or action. Employees want to know how AI will actually help them in their day-to-day job. Will AI or Copilot reduce time spent on competitive tasks? Will ChatGPT help them craft better communications? Will Gemini help sales teams work smarter? Your vision will help answer those questions. You want to explain how AI ties directly to business outcomes that matter. For example, improving customer turnover time, reducing employee burnout, increasing quality and productivity, or speeding up decision making. Most importantly, you want to ensure that you tailor your message. What excites IT might not excite human resources. What motivates the executive team may be different from what frontline employee care about. So when you communicate, you want to ensure that you are applying a targeted communication, a campaign, and that for each target audience, your communication to them actually speaks their language. So the key takeaway here is simple. You want to set a clear, relevant vision for AI adoption that speaks to each group's why. Each group has a why. Why is this being implemented for sales? Why is this being implemented for IT? Why is this being implemented for marketing? Why is this being implemented for operations? Those are just a few examples to illustrate the point. Every department will ask this question: why is this happening? Why is it happening now? What's in it for us? And if you're trying to apply a one size fits all communication, people will write their own story. And guess what? That story that people write includes fear, confusion, and resistance. That is why it is very, very important that as change practitioners, we implement a well structured communication and change management plan and strategy to ensure that the messaging that is going across the organization is a messaging that aligns with what you want to communicate. Okay? All right. So I often get questions about who actually should lead an AI adoption effort. So let us go ahead and talk about who exactly should lead your organization's AI adoption effort. And spoiler alert, it is not just the IT department. One of the most common reasons AI projects fail or stall is because they are treated as technical deployments. But AI changes how people work. That means change needs to be led by people who understand the business, who understand the workforce, and who understand the culture. Where's this all pointing to? It's pointing to you need a cross-functional team, not just IT. You want to include people from, for example, human resources, frontline operations, finance, legal, and of course, change management. So I just gave a few examples: legal, finance, operations, but really it is based on which departments within your organization will be impacted. Those are the departments you want to ensure you are including when putting together your change activities and also strategies. A lot of times when creating successful change management program, you want to ensure that you leverage a champion network. And who makes up your champion network? Well, the people from impacted departments. And we have a lot of resources and articles that talk about champion networks. And if you're interested, you can leave a comment. You can send us an email or send us a message if you would like a video that is specific to standing up change champion networks for AI implementation. Back to our conversation. When you have your cross functional team, and when these voices come together early, emphasis on early, they bring different perspectives that catch risk ahead of time. They uncover hidden dependencies or resistance, and they also increase buy-in across the board. Now, here's something else. It is also critical that your senior leaders are not just sponsoring the project in name only or signing the check. They need to be visibly engaged. They need to be talking about the AI implementation during meetings. They should be showing up to trainings to at least kick off the training session or kick off the champion session or kick off any of the large kickoff sessions. We understand leadership, they are very, very busy, but in the beginning, for those key kickoff sessions, it is important to include leadership. We also need leadership to be talking about what AI means for the organization. This sends a clear message that this is not another flavor of the month. This is not another IT rollout. This is something we all own as an organization. And when employees see that kind of commitment, they are likely to get on board very quickly. Now, step three, which involves assessing the change impact, identifying skill gaps, and also assessing resistance. This is really where the people first approach becomes real. When you launch a single AI tool, before you even begin training, you want to step back and ask yourself this question: how is this going to impact our people? For example, maybe M365 Copilot will eliminate a daily reporting activity. That's great. But what actually happens to the employee who built their workflow around that activity that is going away? Just one example. Here's another example. Maybe ChatGPT will help customer service teams draft emails, but are they confident using it? Change impact assessments help you see these shifts clearly. You will understand which roles are affected, which processes are going to be impacted, and what skills will be required to succeed. Now, don't forget to also conduct your stakeholder analysis. Who is influential? Who is skeptical? Who is likely to resist? These insights help you proactively manage resistance and tailor your communication strategy for effective AI implementation. And here is a key tip: what feels like resistance is often just confusion or fear. If people don't know how AI will change their job or their role, or if they think their job is on the line, they will naturally resist. So make sure you do your homework upfront, do your change assessments. And when you know specifically how people will be impacted, you can plan for it and you can change resistance into readiness. Let us discuss step four. You want to ensure that you communicate early, often, and transparently. This is one of the most powerful tools in your AI adoption toolkit: communication. And I really don't mean a single announcement from leadership saying, we are rolling out AI, get ready, and then that's it. No. Real communication is two-way. It's honest, it is frequent, and it is grounded in empathy. Employees want to know, is this AI going to take over my job? Will my data be monitored? What happens if the tool makes a mistake? What if there are security gaps or security issues like oversharing? If you don't address those questions directly, you leave room for fear, disengagement, and rumors to take place. So be proactive. Explain what AI will do, but also what it will not do. Be transparent about limitations or issues. Share real use cases from your own companies and others in your industry to show the value in action. And really, here is where many organizations miss the mark. They forget to listen. So you want to ensure you build in a two-way communication loop, which is also referred to as a feedback loop. That can be via surveys, open AI sessions, questionnaires for people to provide feedback, town halls, meetings, all hands. You want to give employees the opportunity to ask hard questions, and you should commit to answering them. When people feel heard, they are far more likely to lean in rather than pull away. Remember, communication isn't about checking a box. It's really how you shape perceptions, you build trust, and you drive adoption from the inside out. If there is one area where many AI rollouts fall flat, it is training. You cannot expect people to embrace tools like Salesforce Copilot, M365 Copilot, or ChatGPT if they are thrown a generic webinar and told to figure it out. That is not enablement, that is abandonment. People need to see how AI applies to their job. What does it mean for the finance team, as an example, or marketing, frontline employees, or operations, or IT, or leadership? So create training programs by role or by persona. Use their actual documents. Use real common problems each targeted organization, group, department, team, things that they run into on a regular basis, and then show them how AI can actually resolve those. For example, show how AI can speed up a monthly report, or how AI can enhance a presentation, or answer a customer query in minutes. And don't just train once. Offer refresher sessions, job aids, short videos, and support groups. Let people practice. Let people make their own mistakes. Let them mess up and then try again. Activate your AI champions. These are your early adopters, your internal influencers. When people see someone like them, their colleagues, getting real value out of Copilot or Gemini, adoption spreads faster and feels more organic. Training isn't just about skill building, it is about building confidence. And that is what unlocks real transformation. When people feel supported, when people feel well trained, they are more likely to gain and be receptive to the AI transformation. So, we just talked about step 5, which is training and empowering your workforce. Let us now talk about the final step, step 6. Step 6, start small, learn fast, and scale what is successful. One of the smartest moves you can make in your AI rollout is starting small. I know. It is tempting to go big and impress stakeholders with a flashy enterprise wide launch. But the truth is, most successful AI adoptions begin with a well chosen pilot program. That's what I see a lot of organizations do when they are rolling out Copilot or some other AI. You want to start out with a pilot by picking an area where AI can show value quickly. It's all about the quick wins. That is how you build momentum. If you roll it out wide scale, enterprise wide, that is a mistake. That often ends in failure based on what I have seen. So you want to start out with a pilot, show quick wins, integrate lessons learned, and then roll it out to the rest of the organization. And here's an example of quick wins. Maybe the customer support team are able to show that they can use Copilot or ChatGPT or Gemini to generate faster customer responses. Here's another potential quick win. Let's say the finance team are able to pilot M365 Copilot to cut down on manual Excel activities. That's a quick win. Look for teams or groups or organizations within your organization that are motivated, collaborative, and measurement outcomes. Three things I just said. You want to look for teams or groups or organizations within your organization that are one, motivated, two, collaborative, three, have measurable outcomes. That third one I just said, having measurable outcomes, is very, very important. And when you take a look at the detailed guide, I have included the link at the bottom of this video. It provides you with a detailed breakdown on how you can develop or identify measurable outcomes. After you've identified these three things, motivation, collaboration, and measurable outcomes, you now want to track everything. You want to track what was successful, what wasn't successful, what did people struggle with, what surprised you, what are lessons learned. This is where you will now need to refine your AI change management strategies. Refine your AI-based communications, training, support, and feedback loops to help drive AI adoption. And here's the real magic. Once you have a few internal wins, these users, these teams, these groups become your proof points, or they become your proof of concept, or they can become your advocates and champions because they've been through, they have identified quick wins, and they can be leveraged to communicate out the success of the AI and what it can do for the rest of the organization. You can also showcase real success stories from the pilot, and that helps reduce resistance in other parts of the organization when you eventually roll it out. AI adoption is a journey. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And if you make the mistake of starting out by rolling it out to the rest of your organization, more likely than not, it will lead to success. It will lead to failure, not success. Pilot programs are essential. They are your testing ground and your launch pad. I recommend to clients again and again, just based on how successful this approach is, I recommend to clients have a pilot, before you roll it out to the rest of the organization. That helps increase successes. Congratulations. You have just taken a huge step towards successful AI adoption, but we have only scratched the surface. If you want to go deeper, click on the link below this video and you will have access also within the free guide. You will have access to a free AI adoption change management checklist covering everything from early visioning to long-term sustenance. Plus, we've packed the guide with more success stories, tips, examples, use cases, and practical AI enablement tools you can use right away. And while you are there, if you have any questions, feel free to send us a message. And don't forget, we have plenty of videos that we have published and that we will continue to publish to help increase your success. So if you have any questions as you watch this video, you can leave the question below. You can comment if you have any feedback, or you can reach out to us directly. AI adoption does not have to be very challenging. If you apply the best change management practices, you can reduce resistance and drastically increase organizational receptiveness to the implementation. Good luck.